Hi guys, welcome back. So today we've got this Mark 7 Golf R in for a full suspension upgrade. But before we jump into it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, also notification bell, and you won't miss if our new videos go live. So a full suspension upgrade on this car. Now this particular customer uses his Golf R for hill climbs. He's already got like a wave track LSD fitted, some Bilstein B12s, some Cup 2 tyres, and some bigger brakes on here, as well as some power upgrades as well. But he wants to obviously gain some time on the hill climbs, and one of the best ways to do that is obviously by upgrading the suspension. And this particular package that he's gone for is going to reduce the weight considerably, increase the rigidity, add camber, caster, toe adjustment, and we're going to do that through installing the full Verkline suspension package. So that's the front and rear subframes, the front arms, as well as every single arm at the back. So it's going to be a lot lower weight. Added camber caster adjustment on the front end of the vehicle, as well as an adjusted roll center as well, so we can get that all sorted out. All the bushes across the car are going to be spherical, so there's going to be no deflection in the bushes, and there's going to be more or a higher degree of camber and toe adjustment at the rear with different camber gain. H&R roll bars also going on there as well, so obviously a massive upgrade list. But let's get the car in the workshop, get it on the ramps, remove some of the factory parts, and talk you through all the upgrades. Okay, so this video is going to be a little bit different. Reason being that videographer is actually off at the moment. I'm seeing circumstances over to me to obviously shoot this video, and unfortunately then back over to Sam to edit it once he's back. So yeah, let's talk through what we've been doing. So far we've removed the rear subframe from the Golf R. See it just down here in front of us. Matt's been removing all of the, obviously the subframe and some of the standard components. So obviously you've got the rear subframe here. You then got the rear camber arms. You got the trailing arms. You've got the spring sitting wishbones just down here. And I said rear trailing arms a second ago, they're actually rear toe arms, and these are the rear trailing arms. So replacing all of those bits that I just mentioned. And pretty much the only parts that are going to remain is actually the rear diff, the obviously drive shafts, the wheel hub, the brakes, and then the suspension that the customers got as well. So as well as the rear subframe, we're going to be replacing this front subframe as well as the front arms. So let's go over to the Verkline subframe and talk you through both those parts. So just here, we've got the Verkline rear subframe, and then we've got the front subframe just here. So the rear subframe is upside down at the moment. It's just a little bit easier to put on the table. The front subframe's the right way up. So the main differences between the original parts and these two parts is obviously weight. So the rear subframe's about 6 kilos lighter. I think the front one's about 5 kilos lighter. As well as that, they're both much more rigid, so a lot less deflection. The whole car is going to feel a ton better. The rear subframe's got the camber and toe adjustment with using these shims, and also has bump steer adjustment on the rear, as well as the mounting being concentric rather than eccentric. I'll show you the rear subframe again in a second. Basically, these holes are much larger. You can mount it in a couple of different positions. And over to the front subframe, you've got two different mounting holes for the front wishbone, so this allows us to change the roll center. Matched with the front arms, which I'll show you in a second, better change the camber and caster. So let's walk over to the Verkline bits. So let's see what we've got. So we've got the rear trailing arms, which are just here. So those replace the other rear trailing arms. The big benefit of this, which I'll just try to explain to you, is basically we can adjust the anti-squat geometry of the car. So basically what anti-squat is say for example you see a car squatting down or then diving under braking, you can control that with suspension geometry. And basically what happens is with lowered cars, just like with roll centers and rolling, if you lower the car and you don't correct the geometry, then it's going to roll more than standard. So exactly the same thing happens. So with the Verkline arms, let's flick over this page so I can just show you. Actually has three different setups. So you've got 0, you've got plus 20, and a plus 40 here. So it's basically mounting it in different positions on this end and this end of the arm. So 0 is what the car will have at the moment. Plus 20 is actually the original geometry setup for a lowered car, and then plus 20 is more anti-squat. So basically the car will squat and dive a lot less. So that will improve the handling significantly, and also restore, most importantly, the geometry that the car originally came with, because a lot of people will feel when they lower the car it feels worse. The reason being is the geometry isn't what it was from the factory. It's usually, pardon me, it's usually a lot worse. As well as that, we've got the rear camber arms just here, so nice billet items. They've also got the spherical bearings, which I just missed out on these parts. So all of these Verkline parts replace the factory rubber bearings with these spherical bearings. As well as that, you've got the nut adjustment on there as well. And then you've got the rear toe arms here. So what basically all this does is adds geometry adjustments. So you've got added anti-squat and anti-dive geometry, anti-dive geometry adjustment. And then you've got camber adjustment and toe adjustment, which was already there on the rear, but it's more and more precise than standard. As well as that, we've got the front arms, which are just in here. So again, you've got the spherical bushes either side, and then you can adjust the length of these arms, and the adjustment of the length basically means that the camber and caster can be changed, as well as the two different mounting positions for the ball joint as well. Other bits we're going to be fitting into this car: H&R roll bars, a 034 Motorsport front top mounts, and front and rear anti-roll drop bar links, so we can basically set the anti-roll bar preload to a neutral position. So yeah, going to do my best, try and fill some of the B-roll, hopefully make it look good, and hopefully Sam can make the video look good in the edit as well. So let's know what you think of the video. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then please give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to watch other videos of ours that YouTube thinks you'll like, then click up here. If you'd like to watch some other videos that we have in the same playlist, then click here. And obviously, if you enjoyed the video, then we'd really appreciate if you gave us a subscription. And then obviously you'll be updated when other videos of ours go live, and you can do that quite easily by clicking here. Hope to see you soon.